Thank you for watching this video. We are going to demonstrate a technique that will allow you to fabricate a well-fitting transitional partial denture in approximately 20 minutes of working time. Our technician today is Philip Chow. Philip is an RDT who works at the Dental Services Group Laboratory in Toronto, Canada. As you can see, we are replacing a maxillary left central with this transitional partial denture. The cast has been prepared and the appropriate tooth placed and waxed. We have also scribed our bead line in the cast. We are now heating up a sheet of base plate wax, which will give us the proper thickness for our finished product with a minimal amount of grinding or finishing after the acrylic is cured. Philip is being careful not to push too hard when placing the wax on the cast so that it doesn't get thinned out. He will now trim the wax to the approximate dimensions and begin to seal the wax to the cast all the way around. This will give a definite finish line and prevent any flashing of the acrylic. For those of you who are used to fabricating transitional partial dentures using the sprinkle technique or mixing some autopolymerizing acrylic and then placing it on the cast, you may think that this method takes longer. I would urge you to give it a fair chance before you judge the technique. It's been my experience that many times that I attempted to fabricate one of these with the aforementioned techniques, they required a lot of grinding to achieve an even thickness in the palate, and most of them warped or pulled away from the linguals of the posterior teeth, resulting in a poor fit or a remake. So in the long run, they took more time to achieve good results. Here we see Philip sealing the wax to the cast all the way around to prevent any liftoff of the wax during the process. Now Philip is going to smooth the wax with a flame to ensure that there are no irregularities on the surface. This will also help reduce the finish time after the acrylic is cured. Now it is time to create our matrix for the acrylic. Any type of silicone putty should be suitable for this process. Note that Philip is very careful about completely incorporating both parts of the putty into the mixture. When it is completely mixed, then we place it on the cast starting with the palate and pushing the material up and over the teeth, taking care not to incorporate any bubbles or voids in the process. When the matrix is completed, we will place it aside to set up. When the matrix is completely set, we will remove it from the cast and begin to remove all of the wax. We want to ensure that all of the glaze on the basal surface of the tooth has been removed, and now is a good time to place any desired retention. Philip very carefully cuts out a section where the artificial tooth is placed. This is so he can place the tooth in the matrix and then check the placement on the cast. This allows him to easily see the placement and alignment against the cast to ensure accuracy. If you skip this step, you would be guessing when you place the matrix back on the cast, because it would be impossible to check the placement of the teeth in relation to the cast. Philip then removes any excess material from the matrix. We only need enough material to ensure proper placement back on the cast. Then he begins to remove enough material from the matrix to create the sprue holes. This will allow him to pour the acrylic in one side while air escapes from the other, helping to eliminate any bubbles or voids in the finished product. A small drop of superglue is placed in the matrix to hold the tooth in place. Philip is placing a bonding agent on the tooth to help in the retention of the tooth to the acrylic. And during this time, he has been soaking the model in warm water to help eliminate all the air from the cast. Interestingly enough, this is also all that is necessary to prevent the acrylic from sticking to the model. There is no need for a tinfoil substitute to be applied. Now you can see how easy it is to place a matrix on the cast and double check the fit and placement of the tooth to the cast. This helps us ensure accuracy. Next, we place the rest of the matrix on the cast and then begin to seal it to the cast with wax. This will seal the matrix to the cast and prevent any accidental escape of the pour resin. This also ensures that there is no movement between the matrix and the cast. Okay, we now have the matrix sealed to the cast all the way around, and it is time to mix our acrylic. Here you see the material that we are going to use. This is an acrylic product called Palapress Vario from Horace Kulzer. It is a self-curing resin and is very strong and very accurate. It will cure in a pressure pot in about 15 minutes and has a minimal amount of residual monomer. The directions call for a powder-liquid ratio of 1:1, and we are going to use about 7 milliliters each of powder and liquid for this particular partial denture. Okay, Philip has measured the materials and is going to add the powder to the liquid and then mix it gently in the dappen dish. When it is mixed thoroughly, he will then pour it in one of the sprues until he sees the material begin to rise out of the other sprue. Finished pouring the acrylic, he will allow it to stand for approximately 3 to 4 minutes until the sheen has disappeared from the acrylic. Then it will be placed in a pressure pot for 15 to 20 minutes to cure. Okay, the material is cured and it's time to remove it from the cast and finish and polish. Finishing and polishing is done in the usual manner. One of the things that I think is neat about this technique is the way Philip breaks the cast, removes the partial, glues the cast back together, and then checks the fit against the master cast. No need for a duplicate model in this case. So, as I said, these are normal finishing and polishing procedures from this point on. You can see Philip grinding the acrylic, checking for excessive undercuts, and fitting the partial to the cast. After the finishing, then the partial is polished and high shined in the usual manner. Here you see the partial fitted on a master cast, ready to be delivered. It is the proper thickness and fits a cast very well. Nice job, Philip. Thank you.